Okay. The kitchen's trashed. Pay no mind to what you see behind me. Yeah, you can't see much of it. I'm okay with that. That's all clean dishes, I want that known. They just haven't been put away yet. I say that every time, right? Because that's where the clean dishes live. That's where the bowls live, anyway. Getting my coffee. So, my soup yesterday turned out awfully bland. I'm trying recipes for smaller portions. So I'm trying new recipes, which is always dangerous. Usually when I make Senate bean soup or bean with bacon soup, or it's got a lot of different names, but it's the same basic soup. It's white bean and carrot with bacon or pork, smoked. That's the basis. And it is the formula for Campbell's bean with bacon soup. Usually when I make it, I make a pot. And in making a pot, I use at least half of a ham hock. And I wind up making enough soup for 20 people. We eat soup for a while. And then some goes in the freezer and then it gets pulled back out. And I'm trying to make a pot that's just 1 to 2 days worth. So I started with a cup of beans, and a single carrot, and a single celery stalk, and I followed a recipe. And it turned out really, really bland. Not quite watery, but there wasn't the flavor I was expecting. It called for 2 pieces of bacon. And it's not a repeatable recipe. We'll just put it that way. So we have 3/4 of a pot of soup left, because we wound up eating the pumpkin, and I made bacon wrapped dates with the rest of the bacon, because once I opened the package I might as well use it all. And we had bacon wrapped dates and pumpkin for dinner last night, which is a very nutritious meal. It really is. And we each had a small bowl of soup. But it wasn't cozy comfort food. So I can either respice the soup. At the very least it needs more bacon flavor, which I don't want to open up another package of bacon and go through that again. Or I can make something else using the soup as a base, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make... Okay, so I see a lot of people talking about how they're making pho, whatever you want to call it. It's pho. It's actually, okay. In the mid to late 80s, early 90s, when we were going to a Vietnamese restaurant on a regular basis, because it was 2 blocks from the house, it was explained to us that it's pronounced pho. That if it's used in a multiple syllable word, then it's pho. But if it's used by itself, it's pho. And pho te bok means my bowl of soup, or my bowl of broth. It's not pho as a dish, or pho as a dish, if it doesn't have pho noodles in it. They're a specific noodle. If you use ramen, you're making ramen. If you use salmon, you're making salmon. If you use rice noodles, you're making a Thai bowl. It's not pho if it doesn't have pho noodles. That's like calling it lasagna and using zucchini. It's not lasagna. The noodle is the lasagna, not the strata. Okay, let that go. So the Vietnamese pho dish is a bowl of boiling broth that you then take your selection of meats and vegetables and whatnot and put in, and then you eat. It's not supposed to be pre-assembled. It's supposed to be assembled at the table. So in all these restaurants where they're bringing you out an already assembled bowl, they're not bringing you out the authentic thing. They're treating you like a white guy. The Chinese have hot pot. Hot pot is a communal pot that is boiling, And then everybody has plates of various foods, and you take your food and you dip it in the hot water and swish the hot broth, swish it around until it's cooked, pull it out and eat it. And you do that with your thinly sliced beef, and you do that with your little chicken bits, and you do that with your vegetables, and you do that with your noodles. Whatever you're going to eat, you put in and then you take out. The Japanese have, I just lost it. Oh, I don't remember what it is now. The Japanese have a similar dish. Almost every Asian culture has this dish. Almost every jungle, is that the word for it? Almost every culture with high humidity has a variation of this dish. Why? I don't know. What I'm going to do is fry up some, I don't know why I'm talking about my food so much, because it's morning and I'm making coffee. I'm going to fry up some Spam into Spam Crunchies strips. They'll look like French fries. Probably glaze them a little bit. I'm going to cut up a red pepper into strips, fry it up a little bit. I have some pickled onions that I can fry up because I'm not allergic to pickled onions. That's why I make them. I'm allergic to them before they're pickled, but you know, hey. Anyway, and I'm going to fry up, and I'm going to fry up each of the components as I have energy today. You know, 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. And have it all cooked, but cold in the fridge. And then when he gets home, we'll heat up the soup to a boiling. I'll put some kimchi in it to give it some flavor. And then we'll dump all the contents in and have soup. Maybe. See, now I'm having second thoughts. And I'm having second thoughts because there's at least 2 days worth of soup left. And if I do all of the components for hot pot, there's going to be 6 to 8 days worth of soup left. Maybe. I just talked myself out of it. You saw that, right? Okay. I'm going to reboot. I'm tired. I didn't sleep much last night. I don't know about you. Coffee. Not enough creamer. That's really disgusting. I think I hit the bottom of my grounds. So I have this bad habit of dumping new grounds on top of old grounds in the container. And you really do hit the bottom of the grounds and get the bad coffee. Okay, let's try that again. So my persimmons are finally ripe. Connie made a comment about seeing them in the background. You have to wait for these to soften, because they're really, really astringent when they're firm. And they're finally soft. It's been almost a month. That's the thing with persimmons. There's a reference to them as a calendar fruit, because you have to wait. I like persimmons. I'm going to make the same pumpkin thing except with persimmons for tonight. If it seems like we eat pumpkin custard or custard a lot, it's because it's baby food and it's something I can digest. So I make a pumpkin or a pudding in the English sense, not the American sense, a custard or a pudding damn near every day, every other day. Because it's a guaranteed food. It's usually dessert that night and then my breakfast the next morning, but we kind of ate it all last night. I'm tired. It's 9 minutes. I'm going to rethink dinner. Get back to you. Yeah. A lot of other thoughts, but I'm going to school them and try to come back on a second video. How's that? Tell me if you like the second videos or not, or if you like the idea of a video later in the day instead of coffee video. You know? I do read your comments, even if I kind of space out replying to them. Hey, Roslyn. Did I say your name wrong? Tell me how to say your name, please.